What is happening, Blades? And welcome back to the Blades Ramble. I am, of course, Jimmy. And today we are finalising our plan for Jan. Over the last few videos, we've made several changes to the squad. We've assessed everybody that we've had, brought some players back in from loan, things like that have actually happened. And then we've made our decision here on the Ramble as to what we would do to strengthen the squad going forward. So if you agree with us or you don't, let me know. Comment down below. At the end of this video, we'll assess the squad that we've got from our Ramble rebuild plan for Jan. Now, as we've been doing throughout the videos, we're going to assess our current striking options before we dip into the transfer market and look where we're going to be going. So at the time of recording, and I say that because things are moving so quickly, we have got Cameron Archer, probably our main striker, it's fair to say. Oh, everybody knows I love Cameron Archer. We've still got Ollie McBurney, who at the time of recording is yet to sign a new contract at Sheffield United. Do we re-sign him? What do we do? I think we continue to offer him a deal. And if he doesn't sign, to look at listening to offers for him. Some will agree with that. Some will want him gone. Some will really want him to stay. So it's a controversial call. Got Will Asula, who's been starting and playing well, but is yet to hit the back of the net. And I would love for him to play at the weekend against Gillingham and find that elusive goal. That should hopefully give him confidence to go into future games. And once he's broken that duck, hopefully he'll be away. So we already know Will signed a new deal. Louis Marsh, I'm pleased to report, is back fit and healthy again, and we'll restart with Donny anytime now, really. So another promising youngster that's out on loan, getting minutes in the EFL, which I think is vitally important. I would also send Ryan One out on loan, see where we can, whether it's League 2, League 1, see what level we can get him to. He's only a young lad, so he doesn't need to be at the highest level possible. It's just see how he fares in the EFL in men's football, even the National League, to be fair, due to the stage of his development. But let's get him out, getting him some minutes in competitive football. That'd be great. We've also got Rian Brewster, who is slowly coming back from fitness. I get that we're being cautious with him. Thankfully, not as cautious as Eki was with him, wrapping him in cotton wool and playing him for 1 minute one game, 2 minutes another game, 3 minutes another game. It's make or break for Brewster this second half of the season. I wouldn't be against sending him out on loan, perhaps to the Championship, just to get a run of games. He's not going to be starting a lot of games for us, but that will depend on numbers. And at the moment, we haven't got the numbers because everybody I've mentioned now, that's it. That's what we've got. And you'd say, out of the names mentioned, we've got 4 strikers: Archer, Asula, who's a young lad, McBurney, and Brewster, who's not reliable fitness-wise. Also, at the time of recording, Ben Brereton Diaz may have been confirmed because it is pending as we speak. I'm not a huge fan of Ben Brereton Diaz, and I don't mean that to sort of dampen anything in terms of expectations. I'm pleased he's coming in. I think it's an improvement to the 11, and that's all we can ask for. He's a perfect slot in that left forward role that Wilder's been looking for, and hopefully that frees Archer up to go at the point of the attack on his own. And I think that could make us a lot more dangerous. His presence, his pace, his height in a team that's notoriously quite short. So I think it's a good deal all round. Hopefully we can get a little bit of form out of him. I trust Wilder to get the best out of any underperforming player that comes to us. So Ben Brereton Diaz, welcome to the Blades if you're already here, pal. And if not, we'll be seeing you very shortly. He's already there. That makes it 5 now, 5 forwards. But we are playing sometimes either with a front 2 or a front 3. Who else could come into this lineup? And Brereton Diaz signing has sort of thrown a bit of a spanner in the works for my plan, which was to bring in Amad Diallo from Man U. And it throws a spanner in because I thought he would be the one to go left forward if we signed him. And I'm not saying we definitely would have done. He's now getting back in at Man United. So he's another one that gets honourable mention. But I don't think he's going to be one that's coming to United. Speaking of Man United, ex-Man United player Jesse Lingard was also on my list as a potential signing for Sheffield United on a free transfer. It would likely be to the end of the season because that boy is expensive. He's got a bit of a reputation for himself in terms of not really turning up. I think he had a great season at West Ham, but then at Forest, boo-hoo, he did really poorly, if we're right. So, and cost them an awful lot of money. We haven't got that sort of money to just be throwing away at Jesse Lingard. If we're going to pay him well, he needs to perform. A pay-as-you-play deal would be the ideal, if you're thinking along those lines. But rumour has it that he's in talks with Everton currently. And look, if we come in now, there's only one one club he's going to go to, isn't there, if Everton are still in the race? So we'll see. It's a controversial one, but it's one of those maverick type signings that could really work. And let's be right, if we do pull off the absolute miracle of all miracles, then we may well get somebody like Jesse to stay on if he were to sign for us. Another reason I include him is because I know that we were very close to signing him last time Wilder was in charge. So I know a lot of you won't be convinced by that one, but I'm happy to hear your take on it. Next one I'm going to talk about is Ilias Chair at QPR. Now, I think this kid is a little wizard. I don't know why he doesn't consistently get in at QPR. You often see him on the bench. I don't know whether it's a fitness issue or whatever it might be, but he strikes me as a little bit, and he's not as good a player, so I don't mean to sort of strike those comparisons, but a little bit of a smaller Adel Taarabt, for those of you that could remember him in a QPR shirt. Warnock's always got a story about Adel Taarabt, but really tricky, good player, and he's got time on his contract. I think Leicester were linked with a £7.5 million bid at the beginning of the season that were rejected, so whether they'd even accept anything like that, I'm not entirely sure. Again, maybe a cheeky little swap deal with somebody that we've got on the cards. I failed to mention Jebison earlier, and that's probably because I don't think he'll sign a contract. In terms of Chair, I think they probably asked too much in terms of what we'd be willing to go to in terms of price. So I highly doubt this one will come off, but I'd love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. The last one that I'm sure a lot of us must agree on, surely, because he's on white-hot form, he's young, can use both feet really well, scoring goals, not going to cost the earth. Morgan Whittaker at Plymouth. He keeps coming up in our Ramblers chat. Loads of people badgering for him. Bang, bang, bang. There were a rumour from a dodgy Twitter site that said he was going to Luton for a £4 million fee. I'll be amazed if anybody can get him away from there for £4 million. But they only signed him for £1 million from Swansea recently. He were on loan at Plymouth. It were a really complex, interesting deal that he were on loan there. Then Swansea recalled him. He didn't really want to go back to Swansea. He wanted to go back to Plymouth. Go Plymouth, the Green. And they're the Green Army, aren't they? Let's be right. So I think we can get Whittaker. What about a cheeky little double deal? Morgan Whittaker, Mike Cooper. Oh, Plymouth, now you're talking. Take your pick. You want Brewster on loan? Fine. You want Norwood permanently? Fine. Honestly, I think that Morgan Whittaker would be the signing of the window for me. I think he'd be a real coup. And I think we can get him for 6-7 million maybe, but we'll see. So that is my squad rebuild. Let me know what you think. I'm going to put it up on screen now. This will likely mean that we have to sell Anel Ahmedhodzic. Worth it for the players we can get in. Liking the look of this squad, I have to say, and it's not going to cost the earth to do if you look at the final totals. So again, let me know what you think in the comments. I've really enjoyed this. And look, this will not be the last you hear from me in terms of transfer news this window. It is going to be chaos. It is going to be turnover all the time. I'm saying in our group chat, I'm likely going to be very busy this month. You'll probably see me a lot live, reacting to news and stuff of that nature. So Mrs. Ramble will not be happy at all. But listen, when duty calls and you want to talk Sheffield United news and rumours, this is the place to be, isn't it? So thank you, everybody, for your support. If you want to show us that love even more and you aren't already, please do subscribe, like the video, comment down below. If you want to go that extra step, then you can support us by becoming a Rambler and getting the news early. You can become a Patreon member where you get extra perks, ad-free stuff, backstage video, all that sorts of stuff, all the good stuff. But thank you to everybody that supports us in any way that you do. For now, come on, you red and white wizards. Up the blade! Ramble on!